Oh, Bonimino.
Hello, it's a sobering to think about the difference someone can make in someone else's future. My name is Alpha Ndumu Musoko. We are here today at Blue Lake for the African Community event. The idea is to bring all the community together to speak, to share ideas, and to encourage one another. So, we want to create this thing, one big family. Every year we can come, talk about education, talk about family, talk about things that matter. So I'm calling everybody next year, do not miss this event, this occasion. We create this platform so everybody can come to share good time with the family, also to hear what our speakers of the day gonna share with us as one community. Please join us here again for the next year. It's gonna be bigger than this one. This is just the beginning. Join us, African community. Let's stand up. Let's share the great ideas to our kids so they know what our culture looks like. If you want to contact us, go on Facebook, Alpha Ndumu, Alpha Ndum Song. You'll find us, and our contact number, it's in the bottom, and the link there, 503-208-0998. Oregon, let's stand up, let's come together as one big family. Thank you.
Jah, he loves me, this I know. No one here could tell me more. Little ones to him below. They are weak, but he is strong. Jah, he loves me, this I know. No one here could tell me no. Little ones to him below. They are weak, but he is strong. And I say, Jah, 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 he child, he loved me, this I know. No one here could tell me no. Little ones to him below. They are weak, but he is strong, yeah. Bring your love to the whole wide world. Gonna let it show. Bring your love to the whole wide world. I'm gonna let it show. Bring your love to the whole wide world. I'm gonna let it show. Bring your love to the whole wide world. I'm gonna let it show. Let it show. Let it shine, oh, 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 let it show. Let it shine, let it shine.
Let's be together, let's share together. I congratulate Alpha. He went ahead and decided that it doesn't matter even if there is 2 or 3 people, we should start something and then create a roadmap so that for next year we will have it well organized. So, as you may know, we have a Pan-African event that happens once a year. One happened like last month. This is to showcase for our culture to the Oregonian. That include African immigrant and refugees and everybody from African descent. But this particular event is to bring African family together. After working hard all year, let's come together and enjoy each other. There is more than 40,000 African in Tri-County area here in Portland, Clackamas, and Washington. But so many of us don't know each other. And as you know, most of the Africans who are coming here, particularly the African refugees who are coming here, are the same clan group people who are at war against each other back home. So when they come here, they bring all this problem with them here. So event like this will bring us closer. Put aside all our politics from back home, and we can come together and for the greatest good for the community and also our children to play together, to get to know each other. This is one of the reasons that this idea came up. Again, like Alpha said, we don't have to have the whole 40,000 African here at the Blue Lake before we can celebrate. We can start small, and then we can put a committee in place for next year. That's how we did it for the Pan-African, and that's how we're going to do it for this too. For doing this kind of event, as you know, almost 60% of African refugees who are coming here, the household led by single parent. So it's going to be challenging for them to be here. So next year, we need to put together different committee in charge of transportation, logistics, and all those. Africa House has 2 vans, but this is not enough. We have to come with support to rent like school van, school buses, so that we can go pick a family who cannot make it, who do not have transportation. We also have to use this venue to organize ourselves. As you know, there is a lot of anti-blackness in Oregon. Oregon already has history of racism. So we have to organize ourselves because the midterm is coming, election is coming, the census 2020 is coming. So we have to organize ourselves to be more visible. There is a lot of hate. At Africa House, we create a Portland United Against Hate project where we put particularly, a committee in place. So when there is a hate crime in anybody's house, your car is vandalized, your house is vandalized, somebody attack you and all those, you can report to us. We have an online, form that you can fill out, and from there we can contact law enforcement or legal people who will take those kind of issues pro bono. But those information, if we don't come together and share among us, nobody knows. We have so many Africans in deportations. Just 2 days ago, I spent all day at the court, immigration court, just so that this African can get a second chance. So if we don't know each other, if you don't bring this information to us, we don't know. There is a case where this information we get it late. By the time we went to Tacoma to pull this guy, this brother out, he was already taken to Texas. In 72 hours, we landed in Africa because we did not get those information in time. But for those who we get information in time, you saw at the news, some of them were released 2 days ago. You saw in the news, you saw their picture, some of them from your home country, you may know them. So those are the things that we have to do it together. Africa House itself cannot provide all the need, cannot meet all the need of the community. That's why we need those kind of organization so that we know each other. It's not a Congolese event, it's not a Chadian event, it's not a Togolese event, not Ethiopian event. It is an African event. It's not because Alpha is Congolese put this together that people may think that, oh, we don't want to come to this Congolese event. But this is entire African community. We need to come together for the greatest good of our community and our children who are going to school together, who sharing the same apartment complex and all those. So again, I want to congratulate Alpha for the great job, determination, for putting this thing in less than a month. So you don't have to have the entire African community here. As long as our boss Jackie is here, it's good we can start with this event. And we have also Princess Edna is here. So again, thank you so much. And I also want to take this opportunity to introduce Dr. Kofi. Where is he? Dr. Kofi. So for some of you don't know, Dr. Kofi is one of the shortest guy here. He's the director of City of Portland Office of Equity and Human Rights. So we have people with authority in our community that can, intervene in case we need help. We have also other people who participate at the government level with elected officials and all those. If there is a problem, please bring it up. We will try our best. We don't guarantee, but at least we can do something. Before I shut my mouth, one of the reasons we started Africa House is that, I don't know, Jackie, I think you were here. Remember?
I remember.
Yvette. We have a sister, Congolese lady. Her name is Yvette. So she went to learn driving in Montfort. So Yvette, for some reason, they have an accident. Yvette died in Montfort. So the body stayed there for 3 days because African community were not organized. We don't know how to bring this body here. So Alpha Dad, Gen Z, came with Sam and met with me. What can we do? We went and met with IRCO. IRCO said, well, do you have a 501c3 organization? Are you guys organized? No, we don't have a single organization that has 501c3. So after 3 days, we went and dig out an all African organization called SARNA, Society for African Residing in North America. Even though it's not active, but the 501c3 is still active. So we use this 501c3 to go to OHSU and ask them, they can spend the money, bring the body, and then they can have a tax deductible for their contribution. OHSU brought Yvette body to OHSU, but then we don't have money to bury her. He stayed there for 2 weeks. So the science department said, well, if you guys are not organized, we will give Yvette body to, we're going to give Yvette body to the student to, how you call it, disappear or whatever they call it. Yeah, studied and all those. So we have to organize ourselves, collect $100 here, $50 here, all those, so that we can bury our sister. Because we are waiting for the insurance money, but it's taking too long. So that's how the idea of Africa House came. We said, we got to organize ourselves. This is a shame for almost 30,000 people. Nobody is organized to bury just one person that passed away in our community. That's how the whole idea started. We started reaching out to people and said, we have to organize ourselves. We know we have problems. Africa House is not perfect, but we are doing our best to bring community together, to support our community, and to help one another. So again, thank you so much for this opportunity, and thank you for listening to me. I know I talk too much, but I want to deliver this message. Thank you so much.
Alpha told me that I need to be talking about education and about my job. And I know there are people who are really more qualified to talk about education, but let's see. How many of you have children in kindergarten? Or let's start preschool. Children in preschool. Okay. How about pre-kindergarten and first grade? Oh, it's this area. This is a busy area. So how many of you are in high school? Okay, high school this way. So I have 2 kids as well, and I think maybe that's why they told me to talk about education, and my kids are right now in college. So when I started, before I had the kids, when we bought our first house in Southeast Portland, there's no way we thought about, oh, we need to look at the school districts and how are they performing. It was just, let's get a house, and then 5 years down the road, we started looking for a school, and then we found out the school around in the neighborhood, they are not really good school for our kids. So the only choice we had is to send them to private school. And then the good thing is, like, if you invest in a good place for where you live, or where you're planning to buy a house, the first thing to think, what my friend told me, think about the school district, so that way you don't have to pay for a private school, you can put in your mortgage or on your rent. But those are the things I did not know at the beginning. So when we moved from Portland, Mount Scott area to where I live now, which is far away in Washington County, we found that the public schools are not bad at all. They are really good. So my kids went to public school in Forest Grove from elementary school all the way to high school. So I just want to know, like, if you are a parent in preschool, and how much do you know about the teacher of your child? How many of you know the teacher of your kid? This section where you say you have kids, do you know the teacher of your child? You do. You do. Of course, you know your teacher. And if you're in if your child is in high school, do you know the programs and how much the child is involved, or how much are you involved as a parent? You don't have kids in high school? Okay, so maybe there are no parents in the high school kids here. And this is really a small group. So what I did when my kids were in private school, I was fortunately enough to stay home with my kids. So the first day the second child started school, I asked the administrator, is there any job I can do? Because I wanted really to be involved with school. And they said, oh yeah, we have a position for recess. I was like ready to take anything you give me so I can be with my kids. So I started as a recess teacher. 5 years down the line, I was in the classroom for 5 years. So it really helped me the time I was in school with my kids. When there is no school, I'm home with them. And then if there's a holiday, I'm also home with them. And that helped to be connected, to know what the teachers is saying, how my kids are behaving. I can meet with the teachers in the hallway and they will be like, oh, your son today is very chatty. And then I have to know like what is going on. Or the next day, oh, your son is very quiet, what is going on? So those things help me to connect what is going on with my teacher, with my son and the teachers and the behavior of my kids. You really have to be involved as much as you can. And this is one thing I learned. That was a private school. So you think, okay, if I send my kids in a private school, they will be fine. And then I found a teacher who is retired now. She said, you know what? Don't take everything like 100%. Private school, that's where the teachers who don't want to see black kids in public school, that's where they go. That was like really shocking because I thought it's a Christian private school, should be perfect when I send my kids. But when she told me that, I started connecting the teachers that I saw, like every time this child, because they were really only my kids, 2 of them and another kid from 7th grade, and later on another kid came from kindergarten who was black. So we were like 4 in the school, black kids. Every time this boy make a little mistake, they send him direct to the principal's office. But the other kids in the same class that I was teaching, they will be okay. I was just a teacher assistant. The other kids will be fine. They will bite the kid, they will push the other kid, but never be sent to the administrators. But this other kid that was always, the mother had 2 other kids, so they have to drop this child to school and then take the other young ones wherever she was going. So she was really busy. And you know, in our community, we are very busy. How much can I volunteer to the classroom while I still have all these other things and I need to work? But believe me, it pays off later on down the line. So we found out that kid always, when the teacher says sit down, he's just standing and staring at you. When the teacher says stand up, he's just staring at you. So when they did the testing for hearing, they found that he was having hearing problems. So that the time when the teacher is saying stand up, he's just looking, like really he's waiting for everyone else to do something, then he can also stand up or sit down. So we had to be taking that child to a special school, which is just across the street. And I was putting my own time because that's the child, the mother was a single mother, African-American, could not do it. So using my car, take the kid to a school and then stay there 2 hours, bring him back. So it just takes extra mile and extra time to be able to really support our own kids. And if you happen to be like a teacher, do you have any teachers here? No teachers. It does help to, you're a teacher? Music teacher. Oh, you are a teacher, music teacher, right? Oh, we have 2 music teachers. So it does help when kids see someone else who look alike to be in the same class or to be in the school to help. It does help, it makes a big difference. So I'm just saying that because when I was in that school, I saw like the Ethiopian kids starting coming, Ukrainian kids starting coming, and even them, although they're Ukrainians, they felt comfortable to come to me and say, oh, the teacher said ABC, what does that mean? They said there's a meeting. When is the meeting? I mean, all these other details that we needed to know before. So I encourage parents, all of us, maybe you'll be parents, I see a lot of young people, or if you're parents already, really put your time, volunteer at school, just get involved. Because I saw when I was in school and the teacher said, oh, we need paper towels. This was a private school, so everything you have to bring, kids have to bring a backpack with everything. Toilet paper, not toilet paper, paper towels, thank goodness. Paper towels and baby wipes. So the parents were more involved and quickly jump in to chaperone and bring this stuff. Even when their kids do something wrong, they are always okay. But the kid who's like, we hardly see the parents and makes something mistake, especially for a person of color, I just have to say that is the truth, you are quickly be in trouble. So if you can be involved, please be involved. Teachers can look and say, okay, these parents are always involved. They can connect with you like your child is doing very well or your child needs some help. Let's help our communities as much as we can. And right now, my kids are far away in East Coast. They are going to school there. I'm still praying every day because it's not like there's a time you can say, oh, I'm done, bye. You still have to be really involved. So let's do that. For part of my work, I'm a community health worker certified by the state. I work for a non-profit organization. We have people we call community health workers. How many of you are familiar with that? Community health workers. Kofi knows about. So you have to go through a training. Can be anyone in the community go through this training. Is approved by the state. And then we'll be working with your community. You have to be a trusted member of the community. I cannot be like, okay, Edna, I'm a community health worker, but my community does not even trust me. So if I come here and you really don't like me, it doesn't mean I'm community health workers. They have to trust you. They have to build a relationship and trust between each other. So that way, when I'm going to meet with a client, I can take them to the hospital, maybe it's Providence, and then the doctor from Providence can say, this patient needs ABC, and I can go with the patient to the place. It's like a bridge. We are the bridge between community and health systems. So we know that Africans or people of color, we are like most marginalized communities when it comes to talking about our health. But then community health workers trying to make that connection and be like advocating for our communities. So there are all these things that are really important for our communities. How can we unite? I mean, today is a good example. And it makes sense, even if we are 10 of us, let's start with 10. Maybe next year we'll double the numbers. We'll be more organized. We'll be on time. I know this thing about African time is not really for me because I keep my time. And I think African time is keeping time. The other time is like individual, your own time that we decide to choose. And in every community there is, I work with a lot of other communities. There is Latino time, there is Vietnamese time. It's worse than us. It's not even good. And there is Native American time. So even white people, you have your own time. You keep time or we keep time. So every community, there is a time that we respect. I know if anyone is told like tomorrow you have interview, you'll be there on time. So we know how to do that. We don't miss important things. But it also helps when we're trying to get together and we all have other things to do. Like I know Jimmy needs to go. It just helps to get things on time and finish on time. So there's so much we can talk. There's so much we can learn from each other and build this relationship and trust. So I would like to see people eating the meat because it's done. Thank you.
My name is Aisatu. I'm a youth program coordinator with ERCO Africa House. And I work with a team of staff who work with schools in Portland Public Schools. Right now, some of the schools that we work with is Roosevelt High School, Madison, and Beaumont and George. And I've met some of the kids here who go to those schools, so that's great. But just to add a little bit onto what Edna said, I think she said it so well that most of what happens in our schools, in our public schools and in our private schools, is a lot of miscommunication, cultural miscommunication, between students, teachers, and parents. So we've seen a lot of success when parents step in, when they're very involved in the school. So I think it's just about really stepping in, just trying to advocate for your kids sometimes, just trying to look for resources. That's what has worked, and that's what we can do for now. I'm hoping that next year we will continue these conversations more and bring more young people to these events and parents as well, where we can talk to them about schools, how do we advocate for our kids in schools, and how do we work together as advocates for their children. So I think that's what I'm going to say with Alpha. So yeah, but thank you so much for saying all that.
Good afternoon, good morning. Okay, good afternoon. Thank you for gathering here this afternoon. We were to be here this morning, but unfortunately we came here in the afternoon. I won't talk much, but first of all we have to thank our brother Alpha for the idea and the initiative he took. and thank every one of you who came here. I want to emphasize on health because I'm a community health worker. So two things. One is that the Africa House came up with a program to train African community health workers. And we trained 25 African community health workers. And I think almost the communities I can see here, Ethiopian, Somali, Congolese, Cameroonese, I think Senegalese, they have community health workers who have been trained, even Kenyan and Tanzanian. So in our community, in our Congolese community, we have Mama Therese. In Rwandi's community, Congolese, we have Anne-Marie, you know, you call her Mama Ren. So these are people, when you have problem, and myself, I was a trainer, and I was trained. So when you have problem with health, come see us and we can help you. Number two, most of the time, African, we don't care about our health. We cannot do anything without our health. I always say, God first, health second. So keep up your health. Your status health is more important for yourself and for your development, for your economy, for your study, for whatever you want to do is your health. So when you don't have health insurance, do your best to get coverage. Because you never know, we never know when something worse will come. So you do your best. If you don't have your health insurance coverage, look for us and we will help you to get your health insurance coverage. Thank you.
My name is Kofi Desu. I have to get used to the title Dr. Kofi. I just finished my doctorate, so I'm still learning how to be used to get used to the title. I work for the City of Portland. I'm the director of the Office of Equity and Human Rights. If you don't know what it means, I help city government on how to achieve equity, how to improve outcomes for everyone. So my office provides training and technical assistance to all city employees and elected officials. But I don't stop working after work. I am the president of Togo Community Organization of Oregon, Togo Corps, if you don't know. Many people in the Congolese communities know about Togo Corps because we work closely together. If you know Mama Therese, Sadiki, they know our organization because sometimes we call ourselves Tonga or Tongo. It's a combination of Togo and Congo. So this is to tell you that when we come to America, we work hard. We work to make money, to make our salaries, but we also work for our communities. We cannot rely on the government or the mainstream to take care of all our needs. So as community members, as community leaders, we have to be involved, like Edna said, and Aisha too, and Sadiki and Jimmy. We have to be involved in our communities. So I am involved in the Togo community, but we serve anyone from the African communities who is interested in what we do. So before we leave today, if you are, I gave my contact information. If you want to organize a community event and you want us to be involved, we can partner. Okay, we do that a lot on community health issues, parenting issues. I used to organize dialogues on parenting with Mama Therese. She will bring families from the Congolese community and we will have these dialogues together. Communities will share, families will share the challenges that they face in parenting their children in America. And you will be amazed to hear all the stories that parents share, from food to education and safety. All these issues are surrounded in parenting issues. So today, Alpha wants me to talk about education. What? Education? Okay. So when I came here, I went back to school myself. As I was telling you, I just finished my doctorate about a month ago. So I've been in America for 10 years. And as soon as I started working, I went back to school. I got another bachelor here in America. I got my MBA, Master of Business Administration, in 2012, and I continued. So it's been 6 years since I've been working on my doctorate. This is to tell you that if you come to America and you find a job, find other ways to improve yourself. You can take training. It doesn't need to be a formal education. You can take training, computer training, whether it is driving. There are a lot of opportunities here in America, but you have to work hard for it. Even Americans who are here, they work hard to get those opportunities. So if you come and you find a job and you hide in your room, you don't think about improving yourself, it is going to be hard, especially when you age. When you become older, the work you do today will become impossible for you to do when you become like over 50 years old. So think about, what are you going to be doing when you turn 40, when you turn 50, when you turn 60? Okay? So I'm also going to talk to the children. I myself have 4 children here in America, and we have a nephew. My youngest is here with me. She's Kimberly, 17 years old, senior in high school. And I have a boy who is 20 in college, another one who is 24 in college. We have our nephew, who is 25 in college, and my oldest daughter, she's 31, working and also still going to school. Parenting in America is not easy. I think Edna and Aisha too spoke to the school system. I'm going to add that the school system here has a different expectation for parents than the schools that we have in our countries. Here, the school expects the parents to be involved, to be like a second teacher at home, to help their children to do their homework. So if a parent doesn't have the knowledge and the capacity to help with homework, it makes it harder for the children to succeed. So we need to understand our children. So as community leaders, if you know parents who cannot help their children to do homework, let's organize. Let's organize so we can help our children to do their homework. If it can be a Saturday or a Sunday. Okay? So if not, our parents, those parents can never help their children. Even being involved in PTA, if the parents don't speak English, it's hard for them to be involved. Okay, so as communities, let's get organized to see how we can support our children. So for the children, take school seriously. If you are learning something, take it seriously. It's not just a formality, it's because you are preparing your future. And if you care about your future, you want to be successful, take education seriously. If you are taking a vocational training, like electrician, masonry, carpentership. I don't know how you say. You have to take it seriously, because that's how you are building your skills, so you can have a better future. So take those things seriously. If you are having fun as a young person and you're not thinking about your future, it's going to be hard. Maybe you don't think about it in a long term, but your parents are thinking about your future. So when they talk to you, listen to them. Listen to them. It's very important. What else? I think I've touched the most important thing. This is the beginning. During the year, if any one of you is interested in organizing a session on education, health, let me know. I can help you put it together. We can have it. We have some spaces at Africa House. Togo Core has a meeting space. Even my house is big enough to host maybe 50 people. So let me know. Don't stop here, okay? I think this was organized so that we can come outside and under the trees in the park and play, have fun. But this is the beginning. Again, Alpha, thank you for having that idea. The idea came to me in a short notice. I didn't want to say no. I want to support this young man who has this wonderful idea. So, I had to postpone a lot of things to come here. But again, thank you and congratulations for making this happen.
Hi, African community. Thank you so much for this day, for having me here. I want to start by thanking Alpha for really thinking about this and putting this together. For all the people that were invited, Dr. Coffee is here, Jimmy Doggo is here, and just the entire community is here. And I just wanted to kind of just continue to encourage you to, if you weren't able to attend, I can understand. Please try to do that next year so that we can continue to build and to strengthen our community and to continue to support each other, because it's really important that we're encouraging each other, and especially the youth that's coming up, to make sure that we're encouraging them to be better and to focus on their education and the future. And that we're just really creating a community of support for one another, because that's what's going to get us to where we are. In life, all of us, what we have already achieved and what we've gotten already, somebody along the way gave us a hand and encouraged us, and that's what we're doing today. It's to really just to encourage and to continue to support and to come together as a community and to support the youth that's coming after us. So again, thank you for this day. I'm just excited to be here, and I hope to see you next year. Thank you very much.